Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about what it is like to start from absolute scratch and how to do it. And the impulse to talk about it came from a question I received on my channel from a lady who asked about the interval walking video and said, I've been not exercising for the past 6 years. I have other health issues and I'm using a walker. Do you think it's alright to start with just one interval to begin with? And my answer to that is, well, what do you think my answer to that is? Before we get into my answer and see if you and I are on the same page when it comes to fitness, let me just introduce myself for those who are watching the channel for the first time. My name is Pavel. I'm an anthropologist, so I'm looking at fitness like an anthropologist. And I cracked it. I cracked fitness. And my core principle is DSY, which is don't shit yourself, which is not polite, but it's pretty clear. If what you're doing for fitness ruins today and ruins tomorrow and sometimes the day after, then you shouldn't be doing it. It's not fitness. True fitness is adding to your life. It's adding the energy. You're gonna feel better today and tomorrow and the day after. Okay, so let me also remind you that these videos from the Daily Brainwash series are all about helping you to remember that fitness is not something that you watch videos about. Fitness is something you do. So this is your opportunity to drop into an Asian squat or do a plank or do radio Taiso if you remember the moves while listening. Do something instead of just being a passive consumer. And that applies to all the videos you might be watching on YouTube. So, here we go. Now, of course, my answer to that question would be yes, of course, it's worth the trouble to start with one interval. And it's not just my feeling, my philosophy, it's based on research. Now, in the 1990s, there was a German researcher, Katharina Mayer, who was the first to introduce interval training to patients who were recovering from heart incidents. Now, before then, it was thought that, well, if you have a heart incident, a heart attack or something else, then you should just lie in bed and move a little, but not too much. And I don't know, wait for the next heart incidents to finish you off. However, there are monkeys here. Now, so Katharina Mayer, the German researcher, discovered that interval training works very well for the heart patients. But it was such a outrageous proposition back at the time that she was absolutely reviled by her colleagues. She would be greeted at conferences with them saying things like, "Oh, so how many patients have you killed, Dr. Mayer?" However, eventually she was proven right, and even at the time when she was doing the research and her colleagues would be coming back to their workplaces, where there would be places where heart patients will be rehabilitated. There's one story related in the book by Martin Gebauer, where a doctor would be telling a nurse how horrible what Katharina Meyer is doing is, and the nurse would take him by the hand and walk him to the window and say, now look, here are our heart patients, see? And they like, look at him, look the way he walks back to his car. He walks, then he's out of wind, he rests, and then he starts again. Now what's that? That's interval training right there. So, as I said, eventually she was proven right, and I don't know, Dr. Meyer, if you're watching, I'm a big fan, and yeah, thank you for blazing the path for everyone else to follow. Right, so the answer to the question is yes, absolutely. It's worth starting anywhere. And the answer to, how to start from zero is always start small. Start small so you don't hurt yourself, so you can build up your strength, your fitness, your heart strength and capacity and lung capacity gradually. It's not an all or nothing endeavor. It's a gradual process. All right. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye. Oh, and for those of you who are wondering what's that on my head, that's a tenegwe. It's a Japanese towel-like thing made of cotton. That's for days like these, to absorb the sweat and the blood and the tears. But not the blood and the tears. I'm not into blood and tears. Just sweat. All right. Bye.